Hello there, friends. Welcome to today's fun story explainer. We are diving into a really colorful tale about a man with a giant pile of hats and some absolutely silly animals who decide to play a massive trick on him. Let's get right into it. But first, I have a very important question for you. Do you like monkeys? You know, those playful little guys that swing by their tails and go, ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Well, the monkeys in our story today are especially silly, and they love to cause a whole lot of trouble. Just picture a bright, hot, sunny day, and right in the middle of a big field stands a giant, shady green tree. That big tree is absolutely crucial, because that is exactly where our adventure kicks off.
Which brings us to part one, the sleepy cap seller.
Here is exactly what happened. Our friend, the cap seller, was walking a very long way to town to sell his beautiful caps. But oh my goodness, it was such a hot day, and his basket full of caps was getting so heavy to carry. So he decided to take a much-needed rest under that big green tree. He put his heavy basket on the ground, sat down in the cool shade, closed his eyes, and fell fast asleep. Zzz. But he was not alone out there. It's time for part two, those cheeky monkeys. High up in the branches of that very tree, a whole bunch of monkeys had been watching him. And when they saw the cap seller fast asleep, you will not believe what they did. They sneaked all the way down the tree trunk, super quietly. Then they reached right into his basket, took out every single one of those wonderful caps, and climbed right back up. How incredibly cheeky is that? And to make it even funnier, they actually put the caps on their own furry little heads. Just imagine a bunch of monkeys sitting up in a tree wearing human clothes. Red caps, blue caps, striped caps, all sitting right on top of monkey heads. They must have thought they looked so fancy. Now get ready for part three, the big shock. Our cap seller finally wakes up. He stretches his arms, rubs his sleepy eyes, and reaches down to grab a cap to sell. But wait, something is terribly wrong. He looks inside his basket, and it is completely empty. Not a single cap is left. So where did they go? Did they just grow legs and walk away? Did they fly away like little birds? Oh no, the cap seller was completely shocked. He looked to the left, he looked to the right, and then he looked straight up. And right there, sitting in the leafy branches, were all those cheeky monkeys. And what were they wearing? Every single one of his colorful caps. This leads us straight to part four. The monkey copycats. Now, the cap seller was pretty frustrated, so he picked up a little stone and threw it to shoo them away. But the monkeys just thought this was a fun game. It was a total case of monkey see, monkey do. Because he threw a stone, the monkeys copied him perfectly. They picked up round fruits from the branches and threw them right back down at him. Whatever the cap seller did, the monkeys did too. So he has to think fast. Here comes part five, a clever plan. The cap seller realizes he needs to use his brain, so he comes up with a super smart trick. Step one, he reaches up and takes his very own cap off his head. Step two, he throws that cap right down onto the ground. Now, remembering that these monkeys are giant copycats, what do you think is going to happen next? You guessed it, they copied him perfectly. The monkeys all reached up to their furry little heads, took off the colorful caps, and threw them right down onto the grass, exactly like the cap seller did. It was like a rainstorm of red, blue, and striped caps falling out of the tree. His brilliant trick worked. And that gives us our wonderful ending. Wisdom saves the day. The wise cap seller smiled a giant, happy smile. He bent right down, collected every single cap from the grass, packed them safely back into his basket, and went on his way to town, perfectly happy. The wonderful lesson here is that wisdom helps in difficult situations. And you know, wisdom is just a big fancy word for using your smart brain. When things got tricky with those silly monkeys, he didn't just stay mad. He used his wisdom to solve the problem. So as we wrap up this super fun story today, I want to leave you with one big question. How will you use your smart brain today? Whether you are solving a tricky puzzle, helping out a friend, or figuring out a tough situation, remember our clever cap seller and always use your wisdom. Thanks so much for exploring this amazing tale with me, and I will see you next time.